Hi,
New York Public Library. Here we
New York
are.
Public Library.
I'm Peter Carlaftes.
I'm Cat
Unmute
George.
us.
This is the 2024 Virtual Dada Festival,
And this
co-sponsored
is
by Three Rooms Press and New York Public Library in celebration of
MAINTENANT 18.
a journal of contemporary Dada writing and art.
We publish annually. This is number 17 for us. The first
Yeah.
one was published in 1913 by a fellow by the name of Arthur Crevon. And he was a precursor to Dada. And he published in Paris. And he wrote all of the articles in it, although he gave each article a different author, a different journalist, and put down everything in Paris art world. And it was quite a storm in Paris after he did that. But he would go around with a wheelbarrow and throw his copies of Maintenant in there and sell them at on the street or at a racetrack or who knows where, anywhere anybody would buy one. And that's how he started out, and that's where Maintenant came from. And he published the first 5, but we couldn't do start at 6, so we started at number 2, and he was number 1, Arthur Crevon, 1913. So and we also celebrate Dada, which began in 1916 in Zurich. With the Dada Manifesto by Tristan Tzara. So, but our deal is Dada is anti-war. They stemmed from World War One, when the World War One, 40,000 corpses were piling up in the trenches, and every day they look out and go, why? If the world, everything, all this beauty in the world has brought us here, we have to change everything. So that's what we're doing now. We're anti-war.
Anti-fascist.
We're anti-fascist. And I guess we could still say anti-establishment, but can you call this what we have now, an establishment? I don't know what you call it. We're anti-that, whatever it is. So let's let Kat, what do you want? What do you have to say?
Well, what I
I'm
wanted to
hogging
do
the
is
screen here.
screen hog. And what I wanted to do is talk about the cover of this issue. We love this cover so much. This cover is called The Great American Bubble Machine, and it is created by Molly Crabapple. It's a little difficult to see, but I think you get the idea.
I think you
and Molly Crabapple is this amazing artist based in Brooklyn. She's a co-author of Brothers of the Gun, which is an illustrated collaboration with Syrian war journalist Marwan Hisham, which was long listed for the National Book Award. She's been on the ground in Palestine and in many other war zones, creating her illustrations and writing, which she's an illustrator and journalist. So her journalist stories are usually illustrations plus writing, and her work is just phenomenal. We're so proud of to be able to have it on our front cover. And this issue
has a theme, and we'll give the theme away here. Hold on a
for
second.
next issue.
No, we don't have the theme for next issue.
Oh, yeah.
We have this issue,
Okay.
and we'll show you the theme, and then we'll read the thing. But if you just look at our backs, this is what we do live.
Okay.
Okay. Plutocracy. That's our theme for Maintenant 18. And we'll read the theme. When we're live, we get to just turn around and do it. Here on the Zoom, we got to get up out of our chairs.
Contort
It
yourself.
worked.
Yay. All
Plutocracy.
right.
Plutocracy is our theme. And we'll read the quick intro. And then we'll bring up our first reader.
All
our
right.
first performer.
The economy no longer serves human society.
It's a business. So it's time to give business the business.
In Maintenant 18, we redistribute our wealth of new ideas into a journal of contemporary Dada writing and art.
We aim to shape public opinion with a plutocracy of our own manufacture.
Creativity is our currency, and the amount has no limit.
Shine a light through every crack for we the people.
Because
there are 2,640 billionaires in the world, and we've got each one of them right where we want them.
Woo!
So that's our plutocracy. We're in straitjackets. We've got money all over us. Follow the money. Yeah. Follow the money. That's what you could say. They always said that, follow the money. Now what? We
No,
follow the money. They don't care. They don't care where
right.
the money went. All the journalists want is to click on bad things that and it's just crazy. Follow the money.
Right.
Okay, I followed it, and now the
But
journalist is sold. Yeah.
fortunately, their money will run out someday. I mean,
Yes, it
it's
will,
impossible
but
to have
not of
enough.
creative
But our
ideas.
creative ideas
And our
have
creative
no limit.
spark will not go away.
Yeah, even the richest man on the planet, uh, he doesn't have enough money. That's why he wants to have more power, so he can get more money. It's more. Which reminds me, I think that later on I'll read my piece, which kind of dealing with that. A lot of pieces are dealing with the Plutarch crazy Eddie. But I think right now what we should do is we should hear from our first performer,
Yes,
and that would be Liz Axelrod.
yes, Liz, there
Hi,
she is.
Liz.
Hello, Liz.
So good to
Hi,
hear you.
You're in
everyone can hear me?
Mexico.
I'm all good?
Yes.
Yes,
You're
excellent.
in Mexico, right?
I'm in New Mexico, in Albuquerque. Yes,
Albuquerque.
I am.
Very good.
All
Well,
right.
take it away and
Look forward to hearing you.
I'm going to start with my poem, Cinderella, that is in Maintenant 18. Yes, she was good at cleaning. It was beaten upon her daily. Each night at the hearth, she watched for magic potions to escape her evil stepmom, for fairies, angels, gods, or goddesses to remove her chains and mute the fateful, hateful talking heads on her stepsister's 24-hour Fox News. When the invitation came, Cinderella recognized the prince's filth. Like Anastasia, Drusilla, and her stepmom, he was concerned solely with himself, his numbers, his likes. And the tweets from his bird-like fingers made Cinderella want to knock him out with her broom. She saw through the lies, empty promises, and court full of jesters, his sons and daughters ruling over empty skyscrapers and child labor. The prince pretended well, but he had no care for starving masses, save those few days a year when he left the golf course, brushed his orange locks, glazed his face, called the people to the streets, and tossed them MAGA hats and pennies. How the hell was that enough? Cinderella craved real change, gender equality, social equity, colorblind justice, health care for all. She knew those glitter balls had little power to illuminate. Yes, there were beautiful gowns and fragile glass slippers, but breaking glass ceilings seemed the better dance to practice. So, when her fairy godmother finally came, Cindy rejected the gown and coach. She asked instead for a Ferragamo suit, Jimmy Choos, a pixie haircut, a lift, and a job at MSNBC. Midnight notwithstanding. Next, I'm going to read my poem that was in Maintenant 17. This is called Ogre in My Ear, and obviously there's a theme here. When I was 8, I made fairy tale palaces in my backyard blackberry underbrush. My prince and princesses ruled there lovingly. We got struck by thorns, but we ate sweet berries. I played all afternoon at killing tyrants, building my castles out of sticks and mud. Alone in the backyard, I'd listen to laments from the kitchen, fearing dinner time. How untangled and tiny my war games seemed back then. And the last one I'm going to read is a very new one. And this is from my manifesto, the Princess Manifesto, and this is called the Princess Manifesto. I have lived through the invent, rise, and demise of MTV. I have lived through the invent, rise, and demise of the fax. I have lived through the invent, rise, and demise of docs programming and Flash. I've lived through the invent, rise, and demise of internet cafes. I've lived through the invent, rise, and demise of cable TV. I've lived through the invent, rise, and demise of cell phones as communication. I've lived through the invent, rise, and demise of plastic as a savior or death. I never wore the crown. I've lived through the rise and demise of women's rights. I've lived through the rise and demise of home ownership as a possibility. I've lived through the rise and demise of being a proud renter. I've lived through the rise and demise of unbiased journalism. I have lived through the demise of democracy. I have lived through the rise of mediocrity. I have lived through the rise and demise of personal autonomy. I never bought the gown. I'm living through the demise of colorful ocean reefs. I'm living through the demise of clean water and the air we breathe. I'm living through the demise of privacy. I'm living through the demise of freedom of choice. I'm living through the demise of affordable health care. I'm living through the demise of safety in our schools. I'm living through the demise of trust in the Supreme Court. I'm living through the demise of trust in the family. I'm living through the demise of LGBTQIA2S plus rights. I'm living through the demise of transgender healthcare. I'm living through the demise of parental rights. I'm living through the demise of the free press. I'm living through the demise of liberal arts. I'm living through the demise of critical thinking. I'm living through the demise of civil rights. I'm living through the demise of protest as a form of expression. I never got to sit on the throne. AI ripped the glass slippers from my feet. Will machine learning make us a better ruler?
Wow.
All right, Liz.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank you for the
Liz.
powerful piece.
Liz Axelrod.
Oh,
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for your
Wonderful
work
work.
in several Mentonon journals. Okay.
Thank you, Peter
We'll
and
at least
Kat,
try to
for
get us some
including me.
universal basic income from the AI. All right, maybe
Yeah.
maybe they'll put Giuliani on the Supreme Court. And that's who's going on the Supreme. When they stack the court, we'll have Giuliani on the Supreme Court real soon. So
Thank
get
you.
ready.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Liz. Wonderful work.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Are we going to bring up? Let's bring up Holiday. Holiday, where are you? We're going to bring you right up here.
There's
Yay,
Holly.
yay, Holiday.
Hello, Holly.
And you're in Minnesota, correct?
Yes, I am. I am in Minnesota.
People from all over the Americas. So we're very happy to have you here. We haven't seen you for a year, and it's nice to have your work in the book again. And I guess
Take it away.
Take it away.
It doesn't seem like it was a year.
No.
I don't know. I guess time is going by stranger, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So I have my poem from the last issue I'll read, and then I have a couple of other short ones. The first one is Making Plans. It turns out we don't even have to order a refrigerator, just a bunch of dog food and random kitchen crap, and it all showed up in a big box. I say, this'll be big enough to fold me up into. We should save this box. I'll be ready to go anytime now. We drive around for a while, look for the perfect dump site, someplace where I can sink beneath the waves in my box filled with rocks, or get rolled inconspicuously under more garbage by the yellow claw of a junkyard crane. It has to be someplace well hidden. I don't want anyone to find me. My mom always used to say she wanted to be pushed out of an airplane when she died, just rolled over the edge and into the clouds. But all I could think about was the poor person who would wake up one morning, go out to get the paper, only to find my mother's broken body lying on their lawn, perhaps impaled on a busted sprinkler head. My end will be chosen carefully. No one will stumble across me on the way to the store or while traipsing through the jungle. I want to be nothing for thousands of years, or at least hundreds, just enough time for my bones to become part of an archaeological record, for scientists to nod their heads over, take core samples, run DNA tests on, make random speculations about. It'll be so exciting for them, and not the slightest bit traumatic. And this is how I want it to be. This next one is called The Trouble with Being an Astronaut. Everyone wants you to take their poems into space with them. They slip them folded into quarters, a half sheet, a haiku on a post-it, something small enough they think you can smuggle it on board without any trouble. You won't have to log it in as cargo, they say. It's just a tiny bit of verse, they say. Just something so I can tell people at my next reading that my poetry can be found on the International Space Station, even if it's crumpled up in the bottom of a trash can somewhere on the station, or ejected as unnecessary cargo, or floating at a fixed point in space, possibly forever, or even hurtling out to the stars. And this last one is called The Cure. In medieval Ireland, a cure for scarlet fever was to force a donkey to eat a patient's hair. A common cure for epilepsy was to make the sufferer eat a donkey's hoof. At the zoo, it's recommended to wash one's hands after petting the donkeys. There's huge signs everywhere pointing out the hand-washing stations. I think it's because zookeepers are unaware of the medicinal qualities of donkeys. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Holly
much.
Day.
Who did we
Whoopsie.
get there? We got a next reader.
All right, our next reader, not us. Okay, there we are. All right, thank you, Holly. And that was incredible. And we love donkeys. Some of our friends up in Maine, which is the state where our next reader is from, have donkeys, and they're just lovely.
Gary Lawless.
Okay, so all right. Thank you. And now please
We have
welcome
Annaliese Jakimides.
Jakimides.
So she's up in Maine, and welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I can't imagine being anywhere else right now. I'm so grateful for this community.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be with every reader and every piece you've put in this book. And I just want to note something you said at one of the other readings about how you carefully curate the spreads. And you can see that when you look at them, that one page really works with another. And it's sort of like how we need to move forward in community is working with each other in that way.
Right.
So I'm going to start by saying I make what begs to be created in the medium it wants.
Right.
It might be a poem or a short story, an essay, or a visual piece. But I'm grateful, too, that what usually rises up on your end of my work is the visual work. So what we have here, if I can get this, if it's showing on the screen at all. Okay, is that showing? No?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because I can't see myself here to know what's actually really showing. Okay, so here. How We Rise Untethered is made of tar paper, botanicals, fiber, and photos, which are always mine. Dollar bills are here. Ink, oh, wrong page, hold on. There we go, there we go. Is made of tar paper, botanicals, fiber, photos, which are always mine. Dollar bills, ink, and acrylic, and a blackout phrase composed from a bigger text, which when I do that is always mine also. The phrase that is in this piece reads this: in this dark kettle of time, silver rivers of blinding light, which feels a little prophetic to me at the moment since I composed this prior to what has happened in this last week. The bigger piece is small and personal, from which I took that phrase, as well as large and universal, which is really how and who we are on this walk. So I'm going to read the bigger text, which is also relatively small. I wonder some days whether you're planning a getaway, and in those moments, what rises is, you know, the way we've looked beyond the dark, shadow, and shot to uncover the latitude of instigation or manipulation or immolation that combusted us, the way it saved us, in the clatter of dirty dishes, the musty undershirts, the chopped Bermuda onions when you wanted plain yellow. Well, That's what I'm talking about. Disappointment gnaws at the fringes until it leaks open a wound. And damn, honey, we both know it's a short life. We've balanced so many times over so many years, uncertain that we could make one more step in the same direction, and yet the breath of possibility we'd known from the moment we met would rise again. The ladder rungs eased us forward, greasy with desire. Come on now, jump on my back, take the ride. In this dark kettle of time, you are still my everything. Silk against my knees, spring batuto on my tongue, endless rivers of untainted water, light and light, more light, brilliant, blinding light. Thank you.
Annaliese Jakimides. Thank you so much.
Annaliese.
Thanks for your art.
And
Thanks so much for your kind words as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Why don't you talk a little bit about the spreads?
The spreads, well, when we edit, the key is that we have a theme. And of course, our theme this year is plutocracy, but we've had many other themes. Should we turn around again? and the key is to make each spread belong, like to enhance each other, but to just belong, simply to look at and you know they belong, and thus you belong, and the reader eventually belongs. And we all belong as a community with each page and each turn of the page. There's more belonging. So that's what we set out to do with MAINTENANT. It means now, and it means what can we do to change things now? And that belonging is something that isn't really part of the human experience on Earth. That is, in everyday life to just belong. It's very hard to belong. And all of our actions stem from not belonging, basically. So to change that is how we curate and put together this book right here with all the pieces from people around the world who don't know each other, who don't, very few have ultimate connections, and thus we belong. All of them, all the pieces belong. The work, the inanimate work, belong. So that's the start there, and we have a chance. Like you want someone to read one of your lines and feel something later on. Well, this is the chance we have with each time we publish MAINTENANT. Each year we put it together.
Yeah, and this issue, it is a lot of belonging. This issue has 246 pieces from 6 continents and over 40 countries. So that's a lot of belonging, and
the original Dadaists, like Tristan Tzar and them, they wanted to create an international community of Dada, yet they started, warring factions right away in Paris, Russia, Berlin, Zurich, all over, and they just didn't do that, and thus surrealism kind of just pushed them aside.
So we're doing it for them.
We're doing it now, 100 years later, 110 years later, creating that international community with Dada as a back burner part of what we're about. But the main thing we are about is that we can do this. We publish books, and this is something that we've loved doing for 17 years now. And we share that love with everybody, and we all belong.
Would that be a time to make an announcement about where we're going to be next September?
Oh yeah, we have
14th.
Wonderful that just happened to us.
Tristan Tzar.
To speak of Tristan Tzar, we just recently, in the last couple of weeks, we after many years of trying, we were able, next September 14th, 2025, we will be presenting a Dada performance, a Dada show, a Dada salon at Cabaret Voltair in Zurich, where Dada began. So it's just such a great thing for us, to have this going. We'll be bringing, people together from all over the continent and wherever they can come from. We're going to put together a show for the ages.
Right.
So we're excited about that. Yeah. But now let's move on to our next reader, who is Norm Mattox. You're here, Norm, right?
Norm.
We didn't get a chance to talk, but we will now.
Let's see, Norm. There he is.
All right, Norm, how you doing?
Hello. Hi, Norm Maddox.
Hi, how you doing?
We missed
So
you.
far, so good over here in Jamaica, Queens.
All right,
Okay.
we missed you at the reading, the live reading here in New York. You got to go to Stevie Wonder, huh? How was that?
Oh my gosh, I was almost crying through the whole thing because we're talking about memories about all kinds of love.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm there with my daughter who knows all the words because she was raised by me and my wife who are Stevie Wonder aficionados.
Oh,
And it was just a fantastic event. And I'm sure that the reading for Dada was as magnificent.
yeah.
Well,
So
yeah,
I want to
definitely.
thank
We got
I want
everybody
to thank you.
together. It's good to have you here now, though. I'm so glad you could join us this time. And we're going to turn the stage, the Zoom, the screen over to you.
All
Take
right.
it away.
Okay, well, I have a few pieces. The first one that I'd like to read is A Stain on Memory. And this is coming out of the my latest publication, Evaporating Rage, published by Black Lawrence Press. A Stain on Memory. Which America are you remembering was ever great, that you want to make it great again? If you're talking about the great America where we bring our children to distract them from the real America, then you know the America I'm talking about. I'm talking about the real America that has the most wealth in the world that can only be balanced by an overwhelming poverty of spirit. You know, the real America that has corporate individuals buying up votes that disintegrate our human resources into gigabytes with no teeth, chewing the fat off twisted truths, praised for their bold-faced lies, proud to erase hard-fought progress. Lowering the floor so more believe they've reached the top, while the rest of us know the basement has become our ceiling. Next piece. This piece is an identification with how I feel and maybe some others feel after the events of last week. And it's titled, In Case of Emergency, Call 911. Epigraph. What's the nature of your emergency? Recording. My house is under fire, burning up from the inside out, roofs about to fall in. Don't send the police. They won't need bullets. They'll bring gasoline. Once they see that I am the house, watch me burn. Turn off their body cams, say they did all they could do. Don't call an ambulance, call the medical examiner instead. All occupants burned beyond recognition. Nobody saw that I was the house. This piece right here is the one that got me included in your anthology, and I am forever grateful. Thank you so much. This piece is called A Sad Case of Revenge. How do you fight a war against racism when hate is the weapon and never forget is the rallying cry and the short memory that forgets they were once the victim? Problem is the psyche doesn't recognize the negative. Never forget. The default becomes forget. Maybe there's too many syllables, but always remember sends the same message, always lasts as long as never. Impossible to imagine we've forgotten that victory did not come after carbon shrouded the sky with ash. Cadaverous bodies fertilized the earth, where ultimate goals of extermination, like any ethnic cleanse, bear the scorn that blows on prevailing winds of change. Where the impossible dream of love finds purchase in hearts, frozen, imploding hate, yet spreading love like a virus. A vaccine cure, the light of reason over the fear of darkness. Will the strength of love overwhelm the fevers of hate, withstand the decimating attacks on all dimensions of the human body? Will the vision of peace be blurred? No, blinded by the fleeting power of violence and hate? Who of these scattered tribes will survive to see if hope is lost in Gaza? Peace.
Wow.
All right.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, Norm Mattox, thank you.
Thank you, Norm.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for joining us.
Yes.
All right. Stick around and we'll
Stick
talk
around.
at the end.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And since you mentioned that, we do have a new theme coming up for, should we wait for that?
Yeah.
We'll wait for the new theme. We'll keep the
Right.
suspense going. So we've got a lot more readers.
Did I shoot you a don't say it yet?
No, it's okay. She can do whatever ever.
Well, how
We'll
about
wait.
now from the beautiful state of Oregon?
Oregon, up Portland way.
Up Portland way. Please welcome now to our
Wonderful screen.
wonderful 2024 Virtual Dada Festival, the Americas Part 2, Marc Olmsted.
Woo.
Hello, Marc.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
It always comes like out of nowhere. It's a very interesting experience. This is a short one, and then I have one other that I'm going to read, also short. Okay. Filth bed. Geez, it's hard to read. There we go. Lovers in rags argue under the concrete freeway, while a mad Greek chorus of one shouts her schizophrenic narrative from her bed of filth. Later, I pass an abandoned building covered in graffiti. Blood rain stands out its proclamation. All right, this is Big Hammer, if you're familiar with it, out of Jersey. Not quite as good as Maintenance. Don't tell him that. But it's a good journal if you happen to be aware of it. Okay. Journey to Planet Moolah. Vegas is a reality show billionaire named Kylie regretting her implants. An endless soundtrack of hyper music as I wait for my plane. Vegas is a miniature version of other cities waiting for Godzilla. A big sign that says, "Coming soon," for a restaurant where I wouldn't eat. A glass booth gambling lounge where smoking is allowed, and a pink glow paints the Asian gambler's face a rotisserie chicken. Much needed water is almost $6, and the desperate all nations come here to lose their shirts and fluids in a zombie bet that ignores that ignorance will pay off with heaven. As I gather my wits for upcoming cheap travel, a brutal ride awaits my body. The body's endurance scrambling thought with stretched out time and future cramped seats in the terminal where no one, nowhere to rest or hide. Okay. Thanks.
And now
Thank
you're
you,
gonna
Marc.
kind of turn the camera a little and bring us Suzi? Or is she gonna just swap places with you like we do? Suzi! Suzi, Kaplan, Olmsted.
All right. We'll come back. All right. There she is. There she is. Please unmute.
Unmute and turn the camera down towards you.
One thing at a time.
There's the unmute.
Okay.
Hey, there's Suzi.
Hi, Suzi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you all.
Yeah.
This is my poem. I'm gonna add light.
Yeah, bring in that one. I wish I'd had that.
Okay. My inability to read in the dark. Actually, that's pretty much all I do, is lay around and read in the dark. But okay. This is called Fraught. I love a good procedural where hoofbeats mean horses. Maybe not the first horses they come across, but no one expects zebras in Fargo or Alaska or Manhattan. But life is so much stranger than fiction. I never know if it's horses or wildebeest, or maybe it's hellhounds, or eight-legged invertebrates the size of toasters. Just because I've never seen one before doesn't mean it's impossible, just highly unlikely. The universe is fraught with possibilities. Doesn't matter how rare something is when it happens to you. Suddenly, everyone has zebras in their living room, and you're thinking, average problems sound nice, except for they're not. I like procedurals because they're solved by the end. Of course, the end is always just where you stop.
And you've got one more here. To your left.
Oh, yes, I see. I won't read yours. Okay. Stages of grief and the global tipping point. I don't like heights. I prefer if I never had to change a light bulb. But Ragnarok's best as an action movie, and I'm not suggesting that necessarily makes it watchable. Extinction becomes inevitable in less than a decade, all other things remaining equal, because our reaction has been neither equal nor opposite. Everyone hates a real Cassandra. But by the way, this poem must be read by 2200. Same ending, different story. I make fun of Marc for his incessant optimism. Can't knock that fluffy bunny off Hope Mountain, no matter how many Hope is a demon bitch tattoos he gets. He says I joyfully drink his tears of disappointment with my proboscis of pragmatism. But secretly, even I occasionally feel the horrible flutter of possibility, longing for the happily ever after, forgetful that in Auschwitz they used the same word for tomorrow and forever. Every single story has the same ending, this pleasant fullness of broccoli cheddar soup, warm in my belly on an icy winter's night, Marc's soft snore, napping, now, forever.
That's good. Okay, I think you're done, right?
All
right.
right.
So
Thank
Suzi
you.
Kaplan, thank you very much.
Suzi Kaplan, Olmsted.
Suzi
And
Kaplan,
Marc,
Olmsted, Marc Olmsted in Port.
What's that?
thank
Thank
What's
you
you.
so much. I'm sorry, but we got together last year in Paris, right? We saw
We
you in
did
Paris
indeed,
last year.
which
Yeah.
sounds more
Crazy.
glamorous than it was, actually.
And then usually we see you down in either San Francisco or Los Angeles, but not this year, right?
This year we see you here.
Yeah,
You're on the, you're
the
on
older
the
I get, the more I'm joining my wife, like not getting off the bed. The big Yoko and John love fest, you know.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Philco.
thank you so much. Okay.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Stick
And,
around and we'll talk some more after the show.
And we do, thank you. Yeah, and we do have one more show tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, or is it Eastern Daylight Time? What
No,
is
it's
it? Eastern
standard now.
Standard Time.
We fell back.
Yes, we fell back. And we have one more show that's Dada International Part 2, and it'll be a lot of our European contributors will be on that show. So that'll be tomorrow, 1 o'clock, with the NYPL. And please join in tomorrow. Same time you can watch on Facebook or get the Zoom link if you like.
All right.
And then we have two more shows this year after that, two more Dada shows. One in San Francisco on Sunday, December 8th. At Specs Bar in North Beach across from City Lights Bookstore. We will be there at 6 o'clock, 6 to 8 at Specs Bar across from City Lights. And then on Friday, the 13th, our final of December, our final Dada performance live will be at Beyond Baroque in Southern California, Venice, California. And we will be there at 7:30 with all of our Southern California contributors.
At the beautiful Beyond Baroque.
Yes.
Okay, so next up we have from the great state of Washington,
Anna O'Meara.
Anna.
Come on, Anna.
O'Meara.
We're bringing you in.
Hello,
Yay.
Anna. Oh, look,
Hey.
it lights up. The Ferris wheel lights up.
Oh yeah, that's right. It changes colors sometimes too.
Wow, it's changing colors right now. Okay, well, you change the color of the show here, and we'll love to hear you. All right, thank you, Anna O'Meara.
Good to see you guys. So this poem I wrote on a plane as I was coming home from Banff. And I wrote it before the election results. So it reminds me of a time before a few days ago. A lot of things have happened this year, seen the Northern Lights and, seen all sorts of things that in a way that was just a revolving door of cities, kind of manic but exciting. And that's sort of the inspiration for this poem. It's called Jim Carrey as Hamlet. Whew. Jim Carrey walks into his uncle's restaurant chain in Banff for a free sample. Beside the restaurant, there's a bus station where he has a chance to spit out his gum. Maybe I'll kill my uncle, he thinks, or maybe it would be easier to kill the shuttle driver. Once the shuttle starts, he thinks, maybe I would kill him if I could drive. It's his birthday. On top of the mountain, he leaves the shuttle into a swarm of 1,000 cheerleaders in green. In the distance, more cheerleaders race toward him, running among wild horses. It's so cold and he's so hungry. The swarm stops after a frenzy and takes a sandwich break. Carrey tells a horse, "I'm a Shakespearean actor." The horse laughs, but only because of the facial expressions. When he was a kid, he used to perceive beauty. In the mountains, surrounded by matching faces, Carrey watches the sunset and feels nothing. If only darkness would fall already, he thinks, but it never does. Illuminated by streaming waves of northern lights, he smokes a cheap cigarette. God is mocking me, he thinks. A marmot cries. Instinctually pouncing, Carrey flays it with a Swiss Army knife. Look, I caught a ferret! Carrey's big eyes are hungry for something, but he isn't quite sure what. Maybe he wants to fuck, or maybe he just wishes that he'd inherited his dad's toothpaste factory empire. He almost forgot that his dad is dead now. Dad wanted to be sick alone in his final years, except for the woman who quietly brought him filet mignons that he would salt before he tasted. What a rebel. What a revolutionary. Good riddance to the expectations for CEO etiquette. During his dad's stroke, he laughed until he choked. Dad's ghost passed into Carrey's body that day. That's how genetics work. Carrey laughs maniacally, then decrees a march up the mountain as it begins to sleet. Cheerleaders fall over the ledge. Carrey, our hero, is stronger, he thinks, but he isn't stronger. He falls off the mountain, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second to the roar of the Thunderbird. he dies. I just want to apologize to Jim Carrey. He's more of the actor playing the character in the story than it's not real. It's fiction, but yeah, please don't sue me.
You're forgiven.
No.
Everything is golden. Don't worry about anything. Everything is great. He's the actor playing the character, and that's clear.
Okay, good.
We've got another one in book, a poem in the book about Leonardo DiCaprio's junk. So, yours is tame compared to that one.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Stick
We're
around.
in
We'll talk to you more
Seattle.
later. All right.
Thanks
Okay.
for joining us.
All right.
And now we are going to bring up
Direct from
direct
Sao
from
Paulo.
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Hi.
Beatriz Seelaender.
Hello, Beatriz.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Congratulations.
I'm so sorry for like the background noise of the Starbucks at the mall. Can you guys hear me? Oh crap. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. So I guess the background noise adds a little bit of local color. I don't know. All right then. So I'm gonna read the poem on the plutocracy issue. It's on page 114. This beautiful issue that it's so beautiful, you guys. Like I got both of them at the same time, and I'm like mind blown by how gorgeous they are. So thank you for that. All right then. So I decided to like, yeah, I'm reading for all of these people at Starbucks who don't want to hear me. So I started with by titling this like this weird way that a lot of modern poetry books feature their titles like at the bottom, and I find it so funny because it's like it's quoting something. And so I decided to quote something actually that is from this audiobook from the Great Courses called The Legacies of Great Economists. And so I'm going to start by quoting that. A new character enters the scene, the intellectual complainer. Now, who are these people, these intellectuals? They are people who have gone through colleges and universities, and they believe that they are really the smartest people. But they go out there and find that they can't get a job and they don't actually have any skills. Who can relate? And they get discontented with their lives. They begin to feel like life is unfair to them because, after all, they are the educated ones. They should have good jobs. They begin to get resentful and think capitalism must be at fault, and they're right. Under a just system, smart people would be in control. I sort of imagine these people among kind of angry lawyers or sanctimonious government bureaucrats, or sort of big organizations sometimes like university faculties. Yikes. From a broke grad student to you, or psychological counselors. Those people believe that it would be right to overturn capitalism. Damn right, in favor of an order where they would be the ones to lead the movement towards socialism. So can capitalism survive? Schumpeter says no. So that is sort of like the intro to that. I wrote this poem after I heard this, and I was like, no, but they're right. They're right. So, like, how can you see? So supply demand. Show pony stamps offering meager demands. Supply is the warehouse insurance arson. 1929, in the blink of an eye, I am an expense now, not an investment. It's always been fairly unsustainable. I want to watch it exposed for the ploy that it is. The house always wins, the boys that will be marketing chiefs of Juggernaut Inc. The prize, as always, in a mediocrity is invisible cash for the buy-in. of even more of that. My ego evaporates from the asphalt. Deep down, I'm a snob. Deep down, I'm an asshole. Not the groundbreaking self-reflection expected by now after all my fruitless studying. When I grow up, I'll be an intellectual running on credit and resentment and mistrusted welfare, pining for the meritocracy of kindergarten. I used to love it when their methods were, who knows, not who you know. Who says, who says? You should know all these things, the footnotes and margins, that's where they get you. Who says, who put it best? My boss put it best to date. Hey kid, tell us what you make of it. You make nothing, not surprising with that attitude. Chin up, smile on your face, your ancestors fought for this life that you hate. But can I get tips for my emotional labor? Gold star perhaps for waking up every day? Incentive, why is money always the end? It should be the shit that you use to get shit done instead. I wish I could do things I can. I wish I could do things I can. I am too demanding to be in high demand. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Hey,
Beatriz, Seelaender.
Seelaender.
Thank you.
Starbucks in Sao Paulo.
Isn't that the
Yeah.
capital of Brazil?
Yeah.
No, it should be. It should be.
Oh, it is. It's
But
a very large city. All right.
it's Brasilia. But you guys, you said,
Capital, okay.
yeah. Last year, you guys said that you would come visit me here, that I would show you around.
We're going to do it. We'll be down there one day.
We'll get
We got
there.
Yeah.
two Brazilian, wonderful Brazilian contributors and Argentinians. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed.
So-
Great.
so
Thank
we
you
gotta
guys
just
so
get
much.
the Brazilians. Brazil is so huge. Like we have to get
Oh, yeah.
people from Rio to come to Sao Paulo, or from Natal to come to Sao Paulo, or everybody goes to Natal. We have to figure it out somehow.
everybody goes to Natal. I like that idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you look
Yeah.
up Natal, we should all be there.
Yes.
Anyhow,
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for
Thank you,
patiently,
guys.
waiting there and
Yeah.
having a pleasure.
It's okay.
And you always have a place to be with us.
And you're welcome to stay on. All
Yeah,
right.
I think I'm gonna get kicked out of here though, because it's like 10 p.m.
Okay. All
I
right.
might have to leave at some point.
All right. We'll see you later. It's good to see you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. That
All
was
right.
wild.
Yay.
Hey, and we have a special guest.
We do. We have a special guest
Performer.
since Andrei couldn't be with us. And also Ingrid Wendt was taken, her spot was taken by her daughter, Martina Salisbury, on yesterday's show. So we're going to bring up
Eva
Helene Stern. Are you there, Eva?
Are you ready to go?
Hey, Peter and Kat. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Where are
Yes.
you? Where are you now?
I am in San Francisco, actually.
Okay.
Oh,
And thank you again for giving me the possibility also so spontaneously to jump in. It's such a pleasure. I don't know if you
absolutely.
heard about the elections in Austria, the end of September, that the right wing was never as strong as after the founding of the Republic of Austria. And that's me talk about the country where like the cradle of fascism, right?
Yeah.
So that's so scary. And now I'm here in San Francisco as a foreigner still in my immigration process. And I feel I felt the atmosphere and the trauma after the elections so strongly.
Yeah.
But despite all that, like I'm looking now out of the window and I see the moon rising and it's not that being naive or not being like I don't want to talk things small, but sometimes it helps me to think about microcosmos and macrocosmos. So today in the morning, I just had the feeling like, wow, there are so many galaxies out there, right? So we don't even know. We are part of this incredible vastness. Okay, and this is like the introduction to the performance I want to show to you now. I created it quite spontaneously. So my work is on page 72. I'm born 1972. I just found out. So this is my work. And it's called Star Mother is Giving Birth to Galaxies. She screams out loudly and whispers tenderly, we are undeniable, mystery, force of life. And now I want to start the performance. I need 1 second. We are undeniable mystery, force of life. 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 We are force of life, undeniable mystery. We are undeniable mystery, force of life. 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 We are undeniable mystery, force. We are undeniable mystery, force. This is the world, but we are still mystery. This big world. It shouldn't be that. That was it.
Lynn Stern, very
Thank
nice.
you so much. That was beautiful. The sewing, the lighting, the concept was, and the words were very moving and inspirational. And thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you for the inspiration and that you like the realm you're offering with this journal is amazing, and I'm very grateful that I get to know you and all the artists. Thank you so much.
Will you be joining us in San Francisco?
Yeah,
Okay.
also with the performance if you want me to.
Very good. Yes.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
See you there on
Thank
the
you.
See you in December. But we'll
Okay.
see you a little
Great.
later. All
Okay,
right, thank you
stick
so
around.
much.
All right.
Eva Helen.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eva.
All right, next we have Nico Vassilakis. So we'll bring Nico up, and he's in Illinois. So we're covering the whole gamut of the United States.
Okay, there's Nico. Hi, Nico.
Hey,
Hey.
you're on mute.
You'll be getting off. I can.
How's that?
Yay!
Beautiful. Thank you so
We
much.
can hear you.
All right.
All right, well, take it away, Nico. It's good to see you
Good
again.
to see you.
Same. 8 problematic intersections of alphabet and sound in English. Gb. Gb. Jill. red, 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 red. Red, 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 red. Blue, 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 blue. Ob, ob, bo. Aib, by, ob. By, I, bob, ib, ob, by. Ab, bi, ob, by, ob, bo, by, ab, ob, ib, ba, bo, ob, bo. Ab, aib, 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 ibo, by, ub, babo, bi, ub, I, bo, I, bo. 5 spot. Zugso, Fuchsak, Rumpsk, Movsh, Shibz, Drizo, Joge, Zufjo, Mero, Daimi, Jigi, Rif, Akube, Bepfa, Fiar, Nana, Blaan, Brold, Milbo, Hailo, Lulmen, Slukt, Fokn, Tuhia, Ibipa, Rafi, Blepe, Pifaba, Moft, Bobid, Vamik, Vico, Kojar, Tadok, Ovice, Mika, Dipt, Pizek, Dakok, Mova, Jepko, Jekko. Compartment. At the end of their image, I see the cold of poetry. Splicer. No trace impossible to flowers, no fluid lost in luck's old ink. There, as oceans written, a disturbed surface quickens difference. A short time can only last. The body promotes zero at each splice and is compounded to one, waiting, erupted. Innuendo moves unlatched, wakens the tentacles, each a gestured night bred to suit this surface. A sort of transported void, each slot filled, your match pledged. Flowers not. Good and good night. Affirmative good night. Affirmed. What must go, they say, must go on. The eased view of a seized lake, some utter climate while other weather distracts. Some reach past the hats, an unshaking atmosphere. Anywhere, zero discards. Please carry away from me. Collapsed crickets in song, twin ideas, turn back her pair of tickets, found to be claimed, stuck, unfolded ratios, this fixed and affirmed numbness, to present, if he had one, his constraint, his lips balanced on and in the paper, only more somehow yields more sound. Thanks for all your efforts, guys.
Hey,
You,
thank you,
Nico.
Nico. I love the sounds. That was
Sound
that was well.
poetry.
Very nice. Okay. Thank you, Nico. Now, direct from New York City, my name is Cat George, and I'd like to read my piece, my contribution, which is on a page right across the spread from the contribution of Peter Carlaftes, who we'll talk a little bit about his in a little while. This is called Gravity Pulled Down. The best thing about outer space is zero gravity. That's the real reason the billionaires are racing each other to get to Mars. Imagine weekly trips to uplift jowls and tits, reformat sagging butts, smooth out belly fat. Imagine sex at zero gravity, the impossible positions able to be achieved without years of yoga or Pilates. Imagine counting money at zero gravity and all those $100 flying through the air, each one grabbed by one of the richest men on earth just before it floats away as they repeat the mantra, mine, 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 mine.
All right, Kat.
All right. Woo. And woo. Okay. So who we got next?
Let's bring up from Hawaii, Mags Vibo.
Mags Vibo, who has been on on every one of our virtual data shows. Mags Vibo.
Awesome. Hello. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. This poem is entitled Crazy Money by AI voice assistant impersonator Mags Vibo. You can find the visual poem Bombs by Vibo on page 225. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. So the question is no longer, is it a democracy, but rather admitting the USA is a plutocracy. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. Plutocracy is a government controlled exclusively by the wealthy, either directly or indirectly. Democracy versus plutocracy. Democracy versus plutocracy. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The key word is money. If money orders the outcome in politics, it means that a society is a plutocracy. The singer Patsy Cline sings the lyric, crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The singer Prince sings, let's get crazy, let's get nuts. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The singer Gnarls Barkley sings, I remember, I remember, I remember when I lost my mind. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The band Heart sings, let me go crazy on you, crazy on you. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The key word is money. If money orders the outcome in politics, it means that a society has become a plutocracy. The band ABBA sings, money, 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 always funny in a rich man's world. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The singer Ozzy Osbourne sings the lyrics, one person conditioned to rule and control. The media sells it and you live the role. I'm going off the rails of a crazy train. The 10 wealthiest people in the US have a combined 100 billion in assets. The band Pink Floyd sings, money, it's a crime. Share it fairly. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The singer Madonna sings, because the boy with the cool car crash is always Mr. Right. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. The band AC/DC sings, you break the laws, you hustle, you deal, you steal from us all. There are over 2,700 billionaires in the world. These are the characteristics of a plutocracy. The wealthy have complete or indirect control over the government. The government's policies and regulations are designed to benefit the wealthy. In a democracy, every person's vote counts equally, but in a plutocracy, the wealthy rule. The United States alone is home to 700 billionaires. The singer Gwen Stefani sings, "No man could test me, impress me. My cash flow would never end, because I'd have all the money in the world." There are over 700 billionaires in the USA. The singer Lana Del Rey sings, "Money is the anthem of success. Money is the anthem." There are over 700 billionaires in the USA. Fortune.com reports reclusive billionaire Timothy Mellon gave $125 million to help elect Trump. The group Wu-Tang Clan sings, "Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar, dollar bill." There are over 700 billionaires in the USA. AP reports tech businessman Elon Musk spent at least $119 million to support the 2024 Republican nominee. The band Rage Against the Machine sings, "And now you do what they told you, and now you're under control." The collective wealth of the billionaires in the United States is $6.22 trillion. The singer Patsy Cline rages against the machine and sings, "Crazy. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Crazy. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Crazy. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Crazy. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Crazy. You, I won't do what you tell me. Crazy, motherfucker. Crazy, 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 crazy."
All right.
Hey.
We should show our backs again, but
Yeah.
okay, let's
Okay.
do it real quick. For Mags, we're gonna do Pluto crazy. Pluto crazy for feeling so lonely. All right. Thank you so much, Mags.
Thanks.
May
Yeah.
everything turn out good for you, and we'll visit you in Italy soon.
Yes.
Yes, you will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. All right. What a
Just quickly,
show.
great show. Wow. My piece is across from Cats, and it's called Money Talks, and there are 50 symbols of currency from around the world. So that should be our language from now on. I don't think we need these words any longer. Just take the symbols for the currency.
All right.
Money Talks.
Wow.
All right, let's bring up.
We
We're
have
going to bring
another
up
special
W.K.
guest.
Stratton. He's was on the other show, but he couldn't make that, so we switched him to tonight. W.K. Stratton, who else has ever been in the Rockford Files and done a book on the Wild Bunch? Come on,
There you go.
You know this is
And in Maintenance.
and in Maintenance. Come on,
Yeah.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right.
Well, it's great to be here. And I'm going to put on these Dada glasses. I don't know if you can actually see this very well, but they're labeled. There's izquierda and derecha, just in case you forget which lens to look through. It's a very handy thing to have here. All right. I'm going to read a couple of short poems. I'll start with the first, which is in the book. When I was in high school, I had a job pumping gas on an interstate highway outside Oklahoma City. And on Sunday afternoons, regular customers of mine were members of the Oklahoma City chapter of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, which had its roots in Southern California as sort of a adjunct of the Hells Angels. And that group is still around, still has that relationship with the Angels. There was a guy in the Outlaws whose name was Pluto, and he was always in charge of the money. And so we'd put all this gas in the motorcycles, then he would carefully pay for it. And so I was thinking, yeah, we need more of crazy Pluto, and he was pretty crazy, and less plutocracy. So I wrote this poem about crazy Pluto. Long ago, I knew a biker, OKC Outlaws chapter, Red Dog Saloon Nation, whose name was Crazy Pluto. His economy was foil-wrapped acid hits. He was a charcoal etching of himself. He told me his mother was a rodeo queen. He knew markets and holeless donuts and justice. Rode a shovelhead Harley before winding up beyond his expiration date. Poem for Pluto. And then I have another poem that I'm going to read, a newish one. And I feel like we could all use some religion at this time. So this is a religious poem, and I think it's pretty profound here. If you can see behind me, there's a cow skull resting against a guitar plate case, and this poem has to do with the history of the cow skull. It's entitled Absolution. I pacify memory and time with a cow skull companion. I retrieved it from a Wichita mountain crevice almost 50 years ago. That day, I killed my last diamondback, a regret. I recollect crazy poison in its eyes and black bands above its segmented tail, which hissed more than rattled. Failed maracas. A shovel was my murder weapon. Both the snake and I were young. I placed its blood-scaled skin on a granite outcropping, the only altar I have ever trusted, as vulture, priest, sacrament. Then I found the scattered bones of the crevice cow, blanched by Comanche noons. I transported the skull 3 miles to my pickup. Since then, I carried it through marriages and other fouled loves, business failures, bad books, deflected families, and more. It absolves. Thank you.
So much, Kip. Thanks for visiting. From the state of Texas, right? You're living in Texas, or right? Where at in Texas?
Oh,
I'm in Austin.
Austin. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Austin, Texas. We've got the whole country covered.
Yeah, I fled Oklahoma as quickly as I could and got down here. So
good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't blame you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
right.
It's good to see you.
All right.
All right.
We just have a couple
some
of
more
readers left.
So should we
what?
bring up
Yes.
Voxx
Voxx
Voltair?
Voltair!
We haven't seen Voxx in a while.
Yes.
right.
So nice to see you.
You're in Vegas now, right?
Yeah, I go back to
we got
California
Nevada
too.
covered too.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'll
All
come
right.
out and see you guys, but I wanted to thank you for this opportunity to share all
Sure.
these great poems with everyone. So let me get to, I put them on my phone. I've been very honored to be in about 5 or 6 or more of the collections of MAINTENANT, and I was really, really happy and honored for that. So thank you very much. Anyway, the first poem I have is called Your Name Here, and again, I'm Voxx Voltair. Why watch TV? Nothing's wrong. Just people and animals crying and dying, can't afford the 5 senses a day. Poor people can help themselves. Food stamps are enough. Prisons are effective. Climate controls itself. What does not kill you is an inconvenience. Art is not necessary. Celebrity is relevant. Money rents happiness. Waste is reality. It is all according to whichever Lord's plan. Music sounds better than ever. Monuments are meant to be destroyed. The past is overrated. Anorexia is sexy. Plastic is pretty. Smog prevents sunburn. Insanity is the best excuse. Trash takes out itself. Death is bad karma. Jesus is loved and he lives in a cloud. Deception is a safe neighborhood. Black is white. Truth is gray. I believe in God. Just watch me pray. And this one was published in one of the last maintenance, and it's called Trumped. And for those of you that know me, I'm also well known as an astrologer and a psychic. And unfortunately, I predicted Trump's presidency the first time and the second one. So I'm not really happy about that, but I am a great psychic. What can I say? But anyway, here's a little number here called Trumped. Oh, you poor rich man with your frozen diamonds, blood-clotted rubies, your oyster shit of wisdom noosing your fat neck. You rise upon the crested waves of slaves as Atlas carried by Planquin. How like God, your feet never touching dirt. How I pity you. Your golden plate, your gilt edges, your chariot of cast-off clothes, broken toys, homeless golf course lawn fresh cut, watered by the sweat and tears of your burnt immigrant. Pets, you now kick out. Keep out. The rounded curves of your Marias and Conchitas, poor abuelitas. Oh, you poor rich man in your golden tower. Your wife's smooth face paid for by sure-handed surgeons. Your Dorian Gray of industry. Your DNA strands spiraling perfectly. Blending past and future. Your children created by chromosomal engineers. The earth plundered for your golden eggs. The sky stabbed by the jets of your convenience. You leave chemtrails choking the air with your importance. Oh, poor, rich weakling with atrophied soul. Your secret handshake assures your place only here, where one day you shall surely completely disappear. And then I have this little final one, and then a nicer little touch. It's called Sambazuru. And this was in Montserrat 17. 1,000 paper cuts from folding 1,000 cranes, all red with stains. The wish, peace. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Voxx
Voxx Voltair.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
hope
you
you
so
get
much.
our wish.
And are you coming down to LA or something?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes,
you'll
I
be
am.
at Beyond Baroque. Well, we'll see you
Absolutely. If I can, I'll get a chance to read.
Great. All right.
And now we
Many
have
blessings.
our
Thank you,
final-
guys. Thank you so much. God bless you.
And we have our last reader. I think we'll find out if anybody else wants to maybe read something. But Benjamin White, who is also in New Mexico. So we've had
Hello.
And good to meet you, Ben.
Good to meet you. Good to be here.
Okay.
It's New Mexico is well represented, and when I say that, I mean Liz.
All right. Yeah.
Not by you, huh?
But
all right.
Thank you.
I'd like to start off with a couple of selections from a book from Alien Buddha Press. It's called God is an Atheist. I was trying my best to get on the banned book list, but all I got was praying. It'll knock the dust off my voice, and then I'll finish up with what brought me here. But Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so much about the Gospels and how the apostles would probably watch golf and tennis and political news shows on Sunday mornings just like me, instead of going to church to hear what a bunch of sinners all of us have become. Jesus in fatigues is camouflaged against the hate and death, while every breath he takes seeks the chaplain's purity and encouragement to keep killing. Within the thrilling aspects of locking patriotism and loading pride, to decide it's necessary to lead the Christian soldiers onward into crusades of salvation with violence, cherished by the nation, made holy by heaven's love for bodies, being ripped into shreds of bone, brain, blood, and pain, screaming for death on battlefields blessed by bullets and Bibles to ensure war is worshiped. General orders are prayers, and sniper skills are sacred. And the last one from this book, man is afraid of the dark because he believes in a light he doesn't believe in. And now we'll shift over for the last dance. As you might tell, I don't have a New Mexico accent. I grew up in Kentucky. So in Kentucky, they say, dance with the one which brung you. And so I'm going to finish up and dance with the one which brung me. It's on page 196 for those of you keeping score at home. And it's only one sentence, but it goes like this. It's called Well-Fed Starvation. In the wake of the wealthy, after the healthy yachts cruise out to sea, pride and patriotism are caught in the exhaust that props up the cost and value of poverty. So poor people won't bite the hand that slaps them and wraps them in ignorance, believing the deceiving principles of simple freedom that has no operational definition because understanding is expensive. And capitalism is a system based on money for nothing, funded and relying on $16 trillion of household debt without regret, while luxury embraces interest paid to keep the view from the penthouse from having to see the homeless and the hungry, weathering out the weather that blankets can never quite ignore as they are being prepared to prepare for the next war when they will do what they can do to support every profiteer, fully expecting them to quickly volunteer and defend the portfolios of investors vested in keeping the dream alive, albeit blinded by the nationalism it takes to get the otherwise disenfranchised to deploy to deserts and jungles to kill and conquer and call it glory and honor because it beats depending on Christian charity to donate loaves, fishes, and loose change to the cardboard summaries of American society written in crayon to do their part and reveal the heart of the heartless, trying to be convinced that it's all true.
That's it. New Mexico via Kentucky. All right, way to go there. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the family.
Benjamin. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So I don't know if we have anybody else out there that wants to read. I guess we still have a little time, right?
Yeah. Is there?
Is anybody else put us on the chat if you want? I see a couple of people out there who might.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And if not, we'll close up the show and hang out for a little while.
Richard Loringer.
Richard Loringer. Okay, we're gonna put you on.
All right.
Richard Loringer in Oakland, right?
Yeah, I'm so sorry to have to listen to me, but now you get to hear something. I had a book sitting right here because I just got a second edition of this book, Unit of Agency. I'd never even heard of a second edition, of a poetry book, but that's coming out this week. Whatever the case, I feel the need to read something uplifting. So I'm going to read this. We have to become human if we want to be pumas. We have to become human if we want to be Schubert. We have to become human if we want to be truthful. We have to become human if we want a big choo-choo. We have to become human if we want to eat rhubarb. We have to become human if we want to ruminate. We have to become human if we want to hear roosters. We have to become human if we want a blue frou-frou. We have to become human if we want to speak Zulu. We have to become human if we want to wear bloomers. We have to become human if we want a pluperfect. We have to become human if we want to shooby-dooby-doo. We have to become human if we want to see Newton. We have to become human if we want to push broomsticks. We have to become human if we want to seek sutras. We have to become human if we want to meet Rumi. We have to become human if we want to free Mumia. We have to become human if we want to be ruthful. We have to become human if we want to drink root beer. We have to become human if we don't want a boo-boo. We have to become human if we don't want in lieu of. We have to become human if we want a new room. We have to become human. We have to become human. We have to become human.
All right.
Richard, thank you for joining us.
No, I just, I came to listen. Thanks for asking.
You're coming to Specs, right?
I'm gonna be at Specs and drinking.
Okay, good. And we'll be reading and performing there as well.
Yeah.
Along with Eva, and I think that's about it for everybody there. Who'll be there on the 10th of. So we have. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was a great reading. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well, that wraps up our reading, and it's our performance, Dada performance. This is performance. It's the third of our 2024 Virtual Dada Festival, co-sponsored by New York Public Library. We're so happy that you were able to join us, including Liz Axelrod, Holly
Day, Annaliese Jakimides, Norm Mattox, Marc Olmsted, Suzi Kaplan Olmsted, Anna O'Meara, Beatriz Seelaender, Nico Vassilakis, Max Vibo, Voxx Voltair, and Benjamin White, and special, and we can't forget Kip, W.K. Stratton,
and
Eva Helene Stern,
and Richard Lawrence.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So we didn't forget anybody.
Yeah. So let's just bring everybody into the forefront so we can wave and thank the people who are watching on Facebook.